Hey writers! Today I'm joined by some writer friends and fellow author tubers Carly and Brooke to talk all about how to build your author platform as well as market and sell your books using TikTok. We'll be diving into the top benefits we've all seen since joining TikTok ourselves, some tips to help make sure your TikTok strategy and account are set up for success, how to double your growth by using the same videos and strategies for Instagram Reels, and we'll be giving tons of tips that have helped us come up with and create great videos that have helped us grow so far. Plus, if you stay until the end, we'll give you access to a free downloadable with our favorite TikTok hashtags, accounts that we love to follow, and a bunch of video ideas we also really love. We'll be sharing half the content in this video, probably about like 30 minutes or so, and then we're going to jump over to Carly and Brooke's channel and their link down below. So definitely join us for part 2 if you want all the content. And whether you are here live or on the replay, please let us know in the comments if you're here like, okay, I've been thinking about TikTok, I want to learn a little bit more about it, like why should I join? Or if you've started it and you're trying to grow and you just want like a lot more tips to like get going. And if you are on there, definitely put your TikTok username because we'd love to go over there and follow and support you as well. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to have my lovely friends introduce themselves a little bit, and then we'll get right into the content. And I will also say that after this live happens, I will put little timestamps as well so you can jump around to the different topics too. But I'm so excited you guys are here. Carly and Brooke actually gave me a bunch of tips as I was starting TikTok because they had been on there longer, and it really helped, and I've learned a lot since. So we've been thinking about doing this for a while. So Carly or Brooke, let's see. Carly, do you want to go first and just
Sure.
tell us a little bit about yourself and what stories you're working on, where we can find you on social media?
Yes, all of it. So my name's Carly Dalton, and I am on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. I do it all. But what's nice about TikTok is you can repurpose that content. So we'll talk about that later. But that's kind of the main reason why we're kind of doing this video is because it's been so helpful for me. Right now, I am not published yet, but I am working on a young adult fantasy novel. I tend to do more of a dark fantasy, more gothic fantasy. And so it's definitely got those darker undertones. And I'm talking more about it on my channel. I'm trying to be better at that. So that's something else we got to talk about today. But so I'll kind of share more and more about the book. But that's where I'm at right now.
Sweet, awesome. And Brooke, you just came out with your first book. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
I did, and here it is. So I self-published this book about a month ago, and it's been a really exciting ride. I am on TikTok and Instagram, and on the web and on YouTube, and we love being online. But it's been super helpful being present on Instagram and on TikTok before releasing my book, because I got a whole lot of support from family and from friends and from people I don't even know that have found me on Instagram and TikTok. And I've been on TikTok and Instagram pretty actively for the last year and a half. So
Yeah, so that really helped. And we'll talk a little bit about that too, of like how, early should you start? We got a great question about that. So also, what is the name of your book? Just so people can definitely go check it out.
it's called Empire of Glass and Stone, and it is a YA fantasy. And I'm working on another contemporary fantasy right now. So that should be released in the next few months. I'm excited about that as well.
So fast. Woo. More things to share on TikTok.
Right? And I'm gonna start talking about that soon too. So prepping for that.
Awesome. Cool. And a lot of you guys know me, but if you don't, my name is Brittany Wang. I'm the author of On Wings of Ash and Dust, which I should have pre-prepped, but there it is. Also YA Fantasy, and here on YouTube, Instagram, and most recently on TikTok as well. And we're so excited to talk to you guys. I see a bunch of people showing up. Brienne is excited and here with her notebook. So she's ready to take notes, which I love. And then this Radiant Life. Hello, you had a great question I'm definitely going to bring up later. And Mary is here. And Dania is here, and Colleen, just popping a few of you up here. Let's see, hoping for tips on how to create videos when you're camera shy. We will definitely talk about that. If we don't talk about it in this video, definitely check out part 2, which is going to come up right after. Oh, downloaded the cheat sheet while I waited. Yay. Yeah, definitely. That is going to be super helpful. My main issue with TikTok is figuring out what to talk about, what kind of videos to make, just figure out content ideas as a writer. Yes. And so we're definitely going to
Mhm.
get into that. We're going to go over a few other topics to start out. But I love that you guys are asking questions. And I just wanted to say if you, at all during the live stream, you want to put a Q and a colon and then your question, we'll be able to see right away that your comment is a question that we can answer during the live. Sweet. But let's get into the content because we have a lot to talk about. We took so many notes. And the first thing we were going to talk about, just in case any of you aren't quite on there yet and you're wondering, okay, should I even be on there? What are the benefits? As an author, writer, we also got a great comment from This Radiant Life that has to do with this. And so we were going to throw this over to Carly first to kind of respond to this question of, I'm not sure if this has been asked, but when in my writing or author journey, should I start a TikTok, and why TikTok compared to other social media? Should I be on all social media as a writer author? Great question. Carly's going to start us off and then we'll kind of all chat about it.
Yeah, this is a fantastic question. So when in your journey should you start? I say right away. I waited, and the reason why I didn't like that is because writing's such a lonely process. And so I did it alone for the first, 2 years. And it really it slowed me down. I think I could have been a lot further along in my writing journey if I had reached out on social media, found critique partners, found all these nice tips. I mean, so many people are sharing amazing content on TikTok and Instagram to help you with your writing. So the writing community is so supportive. I didn't think was the case before I started, but it is. So when should you start? I would start immediately. That way you can start building up a trusting relationship with people. These people are going to be your potential readers and you're going to be their potential readers. So you can kind of create this friendship. And that takes time. So I say to start right away. And then as far as what you should be on, if you should be on all of them, I only do that because I have extra time. If I was having a full-time job or being a mom, I don't think I could do that. So do what is realistic for you. If I had to suggest something for writers, I would say your main ones, I guess it depends on your audience, but if you're a young adult, I would say TikTok and Instagram. Twitter's really huge, in the traditional publishing world. But if you're writing more young adult fantasy, that kind of stuff, TikTok and Instagram is going to be where your audiences are. So that kind of depends. But do what is most what you're actually passionate about doing. So that would be my main advice.
Yeah, where you have the most fun,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You can try a couple of them and figure out which one you gravitate towards and
Mhm.
really invest there and start there. So it might be TikTok, but it might not be, but hopefully we can help you
Yes.
decide if it is the place you should go, right?
Mhm.
Brooke, did you want to add anything to this topic?
Yeah, I would say it really depends on, what you have. I think what you have fun making is a big thing. Which platform you gravitate toward. People will feed off of your energy and see your energy. So if you're not excited about the platform that you're on, people will feel that. I don't really love Twitter myself, so I'm not very active on Twitter, but I have an account on Twitter so that I can follow agents and publishers because they're very prominent there. And my audience is primarily YA, so I stick to TikTok and Instagram. And then for YouTube, we use YouTube just to connect with other writers. And then I use TikTok and Instagram to connect with writers as well, because there's a huge community there. And this is kind of a funny thing, but Carly and I have actually never met in person, even though we live a half hour away from each other.
All virtual.
But
Meet on
we
Instagram.
keep each other's work, and we work on our YouTube channel together. We chat back and forth for tips, and it's been really fun. And we met on Instagram.
Mhm.
So if you're not active on Instagram, you're not reaching out to other authors trying to make connections, you're missing out on a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't have your book ready, it's I think all of us kind of went that direction of well, let me at least start connecting with writers and
Mhm.
maybe readers that read the same genre that I love to read, genre that I want to write. So I would agree with these ladies. It's never too early to start, especially if you have that goal. And then you can kind of transition because a lot of writers are typically readers. And so
Mhm.
even if you start out talking about writing, making connections, networking, finding beta readers and CPs, then eventually they'll be really excited to support you and your books and vice versa. Specifically with TikTok too, I'll just share a couple of the things that I'm seeing that are like really cool, that are different from a lot of platforms, is especially with the book talk community, BOOKTOK, on TikTok, that has kind of blown up. Like it's actually like making more book sales, not just for publishers but for indies. And so that was big for me because I don't have a publishing house behind me. But if I can find a platform that it, like we've been saying, like already reaches our target audience, and it's like easy, a little bit easier to go viral on there to find a bunch of new readers, then like why not, right? And I was just watching a YouTube video by an account called Princess of Paperback. She's a booktuber, but also works for a publisher. And her video, "How Does TikTok Sell Books?" If you guys want to look that up, was so informational and cool, of like how her publishing company can actually see that TikTok is affecting book sales like directly, which is crazy. But also just being on there, I really enjoyed that the TikToks can be very quick to create once you get the hang of it. You don't have to be perfect. Actually, like on Instagram and stuff, I feel like there's been more of like I have to like put on the face and do the thing. But people on TikTok really love authenticity. They're much easier videos to make than like a whole YouTube video. And there's not as many features to kind of focus on as like with a platform like Instagram. It's like pretty straightforward. And also TikTok can really help you find a bigger audience, because there's two different ways that people can look at their feed. And the main one actually shows you a bunch of people that you may not already be subscribed to. So that's like a fun way of having people find you organically. There's like a longer shelf life. I've had some of my TikTok videos kind of like do well, and then like a week later like do well again, which you don't always find on some social media platforms. And it's just super engaging way to connect with your audience and new readers and stuff. So those are just like a few things that I was just like it like kind of distinguishes itself from other platforms in those ways. Was there anything else with like benefits that you guys have seen that you wanted to share?
I think you covered them all.
Okay.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Cool.
I was honestly amazed at how many people responded to my TikTok videos about my book and like reached out to me either on TikTok or even found me on Instagram and reached out. So that was really cool to see that my TikToks were reaching more people and inspiring more interest than I ever anticipated.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes you can really struggle on a platform to get engagement. And that's when I think I was starting to pick your guys' brain, you guys are like, there's actually like engaged people on there. Like they actually want to talk to you and like respond to your
Mhm.
videos and like get interested in your book. And it's very exciting.
Mhm.
Anything else we want to say too, just about our own TikTok experience or the success we found, just for, again, any people who are like on the fence about TikTok? Do you
Yeah.
guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do. So I really started taking TikTok seriously back in December. Before that, I was just posting my photos from Instagram. So obviously photos aren't really for TikTok. It's, videos. But I was just doing that to just kind of like get on the app, get familiar with it, and just kind of start to get some followers. And so then in December, I decided, okay, I'm going to actually try this and make some TikTok videos. And the amount, like the reach and the number of like followers I got and the engagement just like skyrocketed. And in the end, like the videos are actually almost easier to make than doing like a pretty photo and then like coming up with like a really nice caption and getting people's attention that way, where the video, it almost like it does it all itself. So the caption, you don't really have to put as much effort into it, not as much effort, but it almost like writes itself now. So for me, making the videos have actually been easier, and it's been way more engagement, way more like it's been worth my time more, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is I've seen a huge increase in all of it on Instagram and TikTok from just making the videos. And yeah, they really aren't as hard as you think they are.
Yeah.
And if you're shy about showing your face, we'll give you some tips later on how you can not do that. But they are easier than what you expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I had my baby, so I just had a baby 3 months ago. Before I had my baby, I decided to batch as many TikTok videos as I could because I didn't know, what it would be like after I had the baby. So I think I sat down and in about an hour, I recorded 21 TikTok reels.
Mhm.
So I pumped those out really fast, and then I had like a whole month's worth of
Mhm.
reels just ready for me that I just posted, and people were asking me like, "How are you still doing this?" And I'm like, "Well, have them all. I have them all recorded." So
Yeah.
that made it really easy. Also, I think there's a power in showing your face and people getting to know you, like seeing your face, seeing how approachable you are. If you're just posting pictures, they don't get to know you as well, and it's not as exciting for them to want to get to know you. So there's a real power in people seeing your face, and it's just a really easy way to do it. And if you're scared of being on video or being on camera, I think I saw somebody post about that in the chat. That is a real thing, and I struggle with that a lot. I think I talk about it a lot on my Instagram actually, and on YouTube. And it's a really easy way to just push yourself to be on camera just for 7 seconds and get over that. And it's not going to be an easy thing, but I felt like Reels helped me push through it a little bit more. Not saying that I'm an expert at public speaking, I am not, but it did help me bridge that a little bit more.
Definitely. I'm just going to add that I also started with Reels too, just because Instagram was more familiar for me. So if you're like thinking like before jumping over to TikTok, if you want to like just experiment with Reels a little bit and see how you like it, then you can, eventually like go over to TikTok. We'll talk a little bit about this in a second too, but like you can actually use pretty much the same content on both platforms as well.
Mhm.
So it's like you create one thing and then you can
Mhm.
duplicate it for both platforms too. So
Mhm.
Yeah, one tip that Carly and I found, which made it's so much easier, because when you post a reel on TikTok, you can easily just post it on Instagram. But if you post it on Instagram and it keeps the TikTok logo, Instagram will shunt your reel and it won't show it to very many people. So what we used to do is we used to find an app online where we had to like airdrop it onto our computers, upload it, download it, and then post it. And it was a huge pain in the butt. But we found that on TikTok you can download it, and then when it's in the process of saving, quit, like exit out of the app, don't quit out of it, and then come back to the app, and then it will save it with the TikTok watermark and without it. So that was a pretty cool.
The hack. It's like a glitch. I don't know if TikTok will eventually discover it and figure it out, but I learned that from another writer talker, Kelsey Gonzalez. She's hilarious on TikTok. Highly recommend following her. Yeah,
yeah.
she told me about that. So it was a little glitch right now. Who knows if they'll fix it, but it is
We
convenient.
found if it doesn't do it the first time, sometimes you have to do it a couple times, and then it will save it.
And I'll do it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've just been like you can go into the before you post the video, you can view the video and then there's like a little square at the top right that you can click to like disappear all the icons and stuff. So I'll like record my screen recording the video and then trim it up afterwards. But your guys' thing sounds so much better. So I'm gonna try that.
It's way easier, and it saves it better quality as well.
Right, the better quality. Right, sure, I'm
Mhm.
sure. So good. Cool. So that was like a mini aside to how you can use it for Instagram too. And sometimes those videos that you post, if you post it on TikTok, like it does really well. Sometimes it won't do so well on Instagram for some reason. And vice versa though. Like I've had some TikToks that like, yeah, it did all right. But then I put it on Instagram and it like blew up.
Mhm.
So it's definitely worth like playing around and seeing that. But we had a really great question that kind of feeds into a little bit of what I experienced with TikTok. So I'm going to read this and then talk about my experience. But Mullen, please let me know if I'm not pronouncing that right, says, would you recommend separating your social media platforms when it comes to talking about writing? So for other writers versus about the content or books themselves for readers.
Mhm.
So I'll just say that like I've been on Instagram since late 2017. And I've been mostly connecting with writers while sharing a little bit about my books. So I definitely have people on that platform that have like bought my books and been excited about my books, and some people just want the writer stuff. But when I was looking at TikTok and how many people really like actually buy books because of watching TikToks, I was like, you know what? I think I do want a little bit of separation. And so I actually did a totally different username over there. And actually, I forgot to pull this up earlier, but here are all of our usernames if you want to go follow us over on TikTok. But you can see that on Instagram, I'm author Brittany Wang, but on TikTok, I'm Brittany Wang Books, which, you know, has some similarities. But I didn't want all my writer people to necessarily go follow me over there expecting a bunch of writer content, because I really wanted to find my reader audience and really have a place that I could invest in my readers specifically. So I'll just say real quick, early December of last year, this past year, I posted a couple TikToks, was experimenting, didn't really know what I was doing. And by the end of the month, I had 144 followers. And then I think that's when I started talking to like Carly and Brooke a little bit more. And my book was also coming out and I was learning more. So in January, I started really talking about my book, starting with a cover reveal video. That was my first video that like went not viral, but like a lot bigger than my other ones. And by the end of January, I had over 1,000. Sorry, no, I had just about 1,000 followers. And then by the end of February, oh wait, I grew to 916 followers by the end of January, had 1,055 by the end of February. And then I've literally only posted one TikTok this month because I got the sickness that shall not be named. And, but even then I still grew like another 200 followers without even really posting another TikTok. So, and I will say real quick, sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but when I was selling my book and like promoting my book coming out, I actually had statistics that showed that a bunch of people from TikTok that like didn't know me from Adam, because I just started over there, bought my book after watching a couple of my TikToks about my book. And because I had like the sign up form for people to get incentives after purchasing my book, and I shared that over on TikTok. And when they filled out that form, I asked them, where did you hear about my book? And about 15 people out of the like 70 people that signed up for the stuff said, I saw you on TikTok. And like, maybe it's not like a huge number, but I was just like, that's like crazy that like I've not been on there very long and they just saw the video and they just like bought the book. Like that's crazy to me and like so cool. So I don't know, just a little encouragement there for you guys. So we got to keep moving along because we're already like running out of time. We're going to go over to Carly and Brooke's channel in a little bit, but anything we want to share too about like if as people are getting started or they want to kind of revamp their TikTok, what are some like overall strategies or approaches that authors or writers should take? What do you guys think?
Brooke, you want to
go? Okay, so my experience on TikTok has been pretty strange. So at the beginning of December, so I had my baby in the middle of December. Beginning of December, I had 41 followers on TikTok. At the end of December, when I had all my reels batched and I was just posting them every day while I was in the hospital, I had 1,000 followers, and I just kept posting reels while I was in the hospital because I was like, I can't not post reels. I'm getting all these followers from it. So one thing that I discovered when I had a reel that went viral. So the reel that went viral was one actually I posted about my book, just saying, because I'd been getting all this great feedback from beta readers. I hadn't actually published my book yet. And so I posted a reel about some of the feedback I was getting from my beta readers. And for some reason, it just blew up. And that was the reel that went viral. And then I posted like 3 more reels that same day, and each of those reels got like 200 more followers. And I just kept like, I just kept writing that as I used more reels than I anticipated that week. But I just kept riding that wave and posting as many reels as I could. And then each reel I got just picked up more people and more followers. So that's one strategy, is to keep posting reels when something goes viral. To make sure that like when you're doing your reels, make sure that you are saying something very catchy in the first 3 seconds to keep people watching. And then another thing that I thought was like super helpful was So the first time I posted a reel about like, hey, follow me, like this is what I do. It didn't do me any good. And so I didn't do it again for a while, and I really regret that. Carly was the one that told me about this actually, and it was really working for her. But for some reason, that first time I tried it didn't work. But the next time I tried it, it did. So that's something that I'd recommend doing, is just doing like a short video of you, doing something in the background, and then like some text that show like, hey, this is what I do. Follow me if you want to be friends.
Yeah.
And that was super, super helpful.
Yeah, you guys have done a bunch of those. So if you guys go to their TikTok accounts, definitely check those out and see, like, something we'll talk about a little bit in part 2, generating ideas for videos and like coming up with video ideas. That was something that you guys you kind of utilized over and over again, and it keeps giving you new followers, which is like really cool. I'm just going to pop this up again in case you want to go check out those videos. And studying other people's videos and what is doing well for them can really help you too.
Huge.
I'll just add to kind of piggybacking off the question that we just got a few seconds ago about okay, what is my focus with your TikTok? I think definitely getting kind of narrowed and knowing what your goal is for TikTok. If it is to connect with other writers, then that's certain hashtags that you use and certain content that you share. And if it's to connect with readers for your books, then kind of looking into how do I really reach those people. And I think part of that too is setting up your account for success, which could include your username and your bio and a bunch of different things. So anything you guys we want to share about before we even get into the nitty gritty of making the videos, how do we set up our account so that when people go from a video and check out our account, they make the decision of whether they're actually going to click follow or not.
Yeah, so account basics. Obviously, in your bio, you want it to very clearly state what you're about. And we kind of said earlier, there's more book talk and there's more writer talk. If you're more doing book recommendations, talking about books, or if you're sharing writing tips. And I kind of try to do a blend of both. I definitely tend to be more writers, but you want to have it state in your bio what you're about. If you're giving book recommendations, or if you're giving writing tips, or if you're just on there being an author and just talking about your book and just making videos about your stuff, just have it be there in the bio. And then also with TikTok, if you choose a business account, they won't allow you to do trending sounds or songs. So I went with more the creator or personal account, but the creator, you can still see your insights. And same thing with Instagram, I did a creator account rather than a business account. But so that's kind of what I would suggest with those. And then also you want to have a call to action in a sense. With my bio, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. So I have right there, for them to subscribe to my YouTube channel. But if you have a link tree, subscribe to your newsletter, just something to kind of, you want to keep them around in a sense, some kind of call to action. That would be my main advice.
Definitely. And there you can have any call to action at any time, but before 1,000 subscribers, you can't have a link in your bio. So having that was the one thing that I was how does everybody have a link? And I don't have a link. So they put a marker on there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this in a second about how to maybe grow quicker when you first get started. But if you can really focus when you first get on there of just posting a lot and growing a lot, then you can get to that 1,000 mark, so that you can actually add their call to action of click this link, go to my website, sign up for my newsletter, buy my book. So it's just really easy for people to do what you would like them to do. Brooke, was there anything that you wanted to add to the basics of the account stuff?
I think Carly talked about all the main stuff that I can think of. Yeah.
Sweet. I would just add then that you can enable for your entire account to have people be able to duet and stitch your videos. We'll talk a little bit about what those are in part 2. But I would definitely enable those right away, because I've had some accounts that have talked about my book or shown my book, and I've gone to basically a duet is you can put their video next to you and you can react to it, and it can be a really fun video to do. And they didn't have it enabled on their account, and so I couldn't promote them basically and thank them publicly for doing that. And it can help you kind of reach a deeper audience if people can duet or stitch your videos. So enabling that right away enables it for all your videos. If you enable it later, it'll enable it for all your future videos, but not your past ones. So that was just a quick thing I wanted to add. And then I've just been told, don't delete your TikToks. If you didn't think it went well or you wanted to redo it or whatever, I've just heard that TikTok does not like when people delete their TikToks. And so that was just like a quick thing that like I haven't seen the repercussions of doing it, but I just wanted to pass that along in case so that you don't get in trouble. um, but yes, and then I think the last thing we wanted to wrap up with, and then we're going to send you off to Carly and Brooke's channel, which is linked down below for part 2. But what would you guys say, if anything, about like if somebody gets on there and they like want to start growing fast and like kind of make traction right off the gate, like any tips we want to sort of give them?
Yeah, I would say pick your niche. Like as far as you can do both if you want to do book talk and writer talk, but when you're first starting, choose one or the other and stick with that. Really, that'll help the algorithm know who to send your stuff to. And I would try to batch some content, like how Brooke was saying. What I do is it's 2 hours every other week that I spend batching content. And in 2 hours, I can usually get about 17 reels or TikTok videos. So close to like almost like 2 weeks worth of content. And so if you batch it, then that way it's already created. So you're not losing that momentum. If you get a really good one that goes viral, you want to post, the next day or whatever. So to batch content so you have it. And then, have like a decent looking profile picture and a good bio that's saying, what you're about. And then sticking down your niche, finding hashtags and kind of testing hashtags to see what's going to be best for you. And then this is debatable. So some people will tell you no. I have found that it's worked for me on Instagram and on TikTok. But when you're first trying to get that first 1,000 followers, it's really hard. Like when you're just, you only have like 60 followers or 100 followers, it's really hard to get that up to that 1,000. Once you hit that 1,000 mark, it starts to get a lot easier. So what I did and what worked for me is I just went into the hashtags, into book talk or writer talk, and I just found people who were like me, not the big massive accounts, but just people who only had a few followers because they were more likely to follow me back. They are authors, they were sharing writing tips, and so followed, engaged with their content. It was kind of like a golden rule that they did it back in return. And so I did that up until I got 1,000 followers, and then I still engage with their content, but I didn't have to like keep following people to get at that point. Once you have 1,000, you can get more like followers organically. And so, some people be like, but then they're only following you because you're following them or whatever. But for me, it worked to get past that hurdle of that first 1,000 milestone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's especially if it's people that are in your niche anyway, and like
Exactly.
people that you enjoy watching, then
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not like
Not
you're
just
gonna go
following random people. Yeah. You're following
Right.
people in your niche.
Yeah, exactly. Sweet.
sure.
Brooke, anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I would say when you're trying to figure out who your niche is, like have somebody in mind, like a specific person in mind that you're trying to hit, and that will help you create content around what you think that person would like to see. For every person, it's different. It could be fans of Avatar. It could be me 10 years ago, something like that. Have like an avatar in mind, and it really does help you figure out what kind of content you should create, what kind of content you 10 years ago would have liked. And then just be yourself and let people get to know you, open up. Maybe don't be too open, and people don't really want to watch you whine. Like it doesn't need to be a platform for whining. Just like open up about yourself and let people see the real you and be yourself. And I think TikTok, especially people, it's refreshing to people to see people be, real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I'll just add to like something that I heard from one of the accounts that we'll link on our little cheat sheet of an account that like talks about TikTok tips, but they were saying, don't put so much pressure on like every single individual video, especially when you're first starting out. Like experiment, have fun, and experiment with different kinds. Like TikToks that are funny, or TikToks that are more vulnerable, or TikToks that share about your book or share about other books that you're loving, or writer tips or whatever, and figure out what your audience really enjoys from you and what you really enjoy creating. And so you're sort of, they said like, create like a catalog of like, all the things that kind of encompass you and who you are and your writing and everything, and then kind of go back and study that and figure out, okay, from here, where do I kind of want to focus and where do I want to go? And so hearing that just really freed me up to be like, okay, I want to try this and I'm going to do that and I'm just going to have fun and I'm not going to like spend 3 hours like trying to make a perfect TikTok. I'm just going to like, go for it. And definitely like batch filming and posting, like some people even say like 3 times a day for like a week or something, just seeing, you'll get a lot of analytics and a lot of experience and like get even more comfortable with the platform at that point. And if you do that experience, you'll be able to tell, okay, like what are people responding to? What do I really like? And where should I go from here? So don't put the pressure on yourself to like make it all perfect, like just dive in and have fun, I think. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great advice.
We did have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to add one more thing. Like, I think it's just when you're starting out on TikTok, you're getting to know the platform, you're getting to know your audience, right? But you're also getting to know yourself and what you're good at creating, and watching your insights and, seeing what people are responding to really know what you are good at creating is a big part of that.
Yeah. You get more comfortable as you go. Like I even saw Megan saying, well, it's hard to see yourself on video. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And it's not natural watching or hearing yourself for the first time. But the more you do it, and the more success you find, the more worth it is. We had just like a couple other comments. Allie said, I did an experiment where I kept the TikTok logo, like we were saying before, from TikTok, putting it on Instagram, and Instagram suppressed that reel. And Rianne also agreed that, yes, she's experienced that too. So just some other things in there from the comments. And Rianne is also saying, I don't think that's true. I'm not 100% certain. I'm sure I got a link as soon as I changed. Oh, interesting. So they may be changing some things about the links for TikTok. Rianne said she got her link before hitting 1,000 people, followers. So I mean, I'm all for that if that's what they're doing. So you can definitely check it out yourself. We're going to close up part 1 by saying, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. But we're going to now jump over to Carly and Brooke's channel, which is linked down the description, the exact video you want to go to. It's labeled as part 2. And just give us like a minute or so to pop ourselves over there. Say hi to us in the comments. And while we do that, I also want to let you know that you can get our free TikTok tips for authors cheat sheet that we put together. There's a ton of our favorite hashtags, accounts we follow, and a lot of video ideas that we're going to now go talk about on their channel about how to come up with and create a bunch of video ideas that you'll have a lot of really fun with on TikTok. And that's it. So we're going to close this up, and we'll see you guys over on their channel. Bye.